Yo, 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 yo. I feel like I need to, this is a cool shot. I feel like this is a cool shot. I feel like this is a cool angle. But I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. Do you feel like we're connected through this shot? Do you feel like I'm looking down on you? I feel like I'm looking a little bit down. I feel like I need to raise it up. You know what I'm saying? If I could raise it up to right there, yeah, that feels like a much better shot. I need about 8 to 12 inches though to make that happen. I gotta find something in 30 seconds that's like 8 to 12 inches so that I could raise this sucker up. There's gotta be something in this room, right, that we could use to make that happen. Anyways, I am actually in the room that I'm gonna be keynoting in just a couple hours. I will be keynoting in this room right here. And so that is where we are this morning for today's episode of #Rise and Grind. Super excited to have you with me. It's going to be an enjoyable show. My shirt is not holding up this mic the way that I want to, so if we have any issues there, you just let me know. But ultimately, we're going to go get it. I have an idea. Watch this. Okay, I got to move fast. Okay, I got an idea. Go.
Good morning and welcome to the #1 morning show in America. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to 1, father to 9, author, speaker, and the founder of 800%.life. It's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind.
Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is, you guys could probably hear all that. I'm still doing some moving and shaking back here. Today is, I'll show you what I did here in just a second. Today is Monday. That's right, today is Monday, March something. All right. Boom, how about that? Yes. Yes, I like this much better. Look at that shot right there. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, today is a Monday. So I got out of breath just running. All right, today is Monday, March 22nd, 2026. That's right, today is Monday, March 22nd, 2026. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Monday, March 22nd, today's March 23rd. Okay, regroup, take a breath, breathe it in. Regroup, take a breath, breathe it in. We're in a different location. We're a little bit off site, and so we just gotta settle in. I had to run real quick because I wanted my screen to be a little more elevated, and I saw a bunch of glasses over there that are going to be used for water later for the people here at this event. And so I just ran over and grabbed 8 glasses, balanced them over to here, 8 glasses, set them down, stacked them up. Ain't nothing wrong with me, Oswald. Sat them down, stacked them up, and then now I've got the computer an extra 8, 10, 12 inches off the ground. All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Monday. That's right, today is Monday, March 23rd, 2026. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Monday, March 23rd, 2026. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. I'm coming to you live from Atlanta. That's right, Hotlanta, as they call it, right? I'm coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. What an amazing city this place is. Where I am here for what they call the DC20 East event. So this is DriveCentric DC20. DC stands for DriveCentric. It is a CRM company, one of the most popular CRM companies in the automotive industry. And they have an event. They do a DC20 West and they do a DC20 East. They do 2 events a year. And they'll bring together people from the automotive space from all over the United States of America and probably outside in Canada and maybe some other places, and they will bring people together and just pour into them. Most of the people here are users of their product. And so they go a little bit deeper into actually how they can get the most out of their product. But then they also bring in outside speakers like me and other amazing speakers to be able to pour into these individuals. So I am here in Atlanta for that event with all of these dealers. Now, what's interesting is though all of these dealers are from different areas of the country, though all of these dealers have different manufacturers that they represent, or different products that they sell, or different styles, or different strategies, or whatever. They're different in so many ways. There's one thing that they all have in common. Motivations behind it might be different. The importance of it might be stressed in a little bit different way, but there is one thing, hands down, that they all have in common. And that one thing that they all have in common is that they all want to sell more cars. Every single one of them. Every single one of them, they all want to sell more cars. How's that microphone sound? I feel like it could work right there. They all want to sell more cars. That is the one common thread that they all have in common. They want to sell more. Now, here's what's interesting about that, though. When you really look at that, the same is probably true for you and for any other industry that's out there. Like, just hang with me here. They want to sell more. My guess is if you just put a different subject at the end, you could find a way that this relates exactly to you. You ready? Instead of sell more cars, for you it might be invest more time with family. Do you see what I'm saying? Instead of more cars, for you it might be more time working out, taking care of my health. Instead of more cars, it might be more money to invest in real estate, in the stock market, in whatever it moves you, right? For you, it might be more ice cream. Maybe it's more ice cream. You're like, man, I just wish I had more ice cream. Maybe it's more time with friends. Maybe it's more ice cream, eating ice cream with friends. It could be that, right? Maybe for some of you, instead of sell more cars, maybe for some of you it's more of a deeper relationship with God, more of an understanding who Jesus is. Maybe for you it's more vacation, more relaxation, more peace. Maybe for some of you it's more work. Man, I wish I had more work. I love to work. I wish I could get more work. Struggling to find work. You see, the list is infinite of what can come after the more. And that's what's interesting about us as humans, right? We tend to always have a desire for more. Doesn't matter what it is. We tend to have a desire for more. I see it in my baby, Hutch Raider. First time you give him a bite of something, he's like, he wants more. He wants more of whatever that thing was, right? My kids that are starting to go through dating age right now, right? They get all excited by a member of the opposite sex, and they're just like, I want more, man. Give me more. More time. More, like, I can be on the phone for 14, 15, 16 hours. I don't want to sleep. I just need more. Can I hang out with that person more? Can I see him again tomorrow? Can I see him again the day after that? Can we go over here? Can we hang out over there? Right? Like, there's just this innate human desire for more. And as I'm sitting here in Atlanta, Georgia with you, I want to talk about that. We've got an amazing new series that we're rolling out this week. Good morning, sir. How are you? We've got an amazing new series that we're rolling out this week as we're here for the DriveCentric event this morning. And so I want to talk about that a little bit more. But first, you know what we got to do on this show, right? You know what we got to do. Y'all know what we got to do up in here. There it is. Let's go. Let's go. Boom, boom, boom. All right, for those of you that know, and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right, I need you to hit that share button. Because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes you, to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I'm going to say good morning to you, and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching this show live or you're watching this show on replay, say what's up, and I'll say what's up back. Good morning, Mike Larkin. Thank you for being here, sir. Great to see you. What's up, Mary Lynn Wilkin? Thank you for being in the building today. Great to see you. We don't know when to let the party end. That's right. Malika Carey, thank you for being in the building this morning. Tanya Colquhoun is in the building. We've got Mary Lynn Wilkin, Trisha Rue, Greg Becker, Russell Hill is up in here today. Thanks for being here, Russell Hill. We've also got Bill Harrison. Good morning, Bill Harrison. Wendy Reeves is in the building. Kevin Masciantonio is in the building. Robert Migliaccio is up in here today. Thanks for being here, Robert. I greatly appreciate it. Luis Grafton-Nonis is in the building. Spencer Nicholson is in the building. Mike Strong is in the building. Wendy Reeves is in the building today. Jody Tibbs is up in here today. Patricia Brudenberg, thanks for being here. Denny Rust, thanks for being here. And so many more. Young Johnson, thanks to those of you that watch this show on replay every single day. 95% of the people that watch our show on replay. So just so you know, I greatly appreciate you. Make sure you drop a comment. Make sure you say what's up. That way I know you stopped by. Now again, we're coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia, home of the DriveCentric DC20 East event, where I will be launching my opening keynote in just a couple hours. Super excited. Hello, Liza Myers-Borges. She's in the building. Nathaniel Banks is up in here as well. We've also got Bella Rigby. Thanks for being here, Bella Rigby. I greatly appreciate it. Tara Hope, thanks. Thank you all. Hey, on that note, we are getting together live in person here in Atlanta today, but across and around the world in the future, we will be getting together in little pockets, in little groups, in little what's the word that I'm looking for? Little experiences that we're going to be creating all around the world. If you become a member of the 800% Life Facebook group, make sure you join over there. It's free to join, and this is where we'll be announcing any upcoming 800% Life events that might be happening in your area. So make sure you connect in the 800% Life group. I know that there are coffee meetups that are on their way. I know that there are community baby clothes distribution meetups that are coming. I know that there are running clubs that are being developed. I know right now we have a teen high school entrepreneur group that we're using to pull teens together and teach them business and so on and so forth. So make sure you're part of 800%.life. It is continuing to grow. We just cracked 4,000 members, which thank you so much for those of you that have been sharing it out and inviting people to the group. Tony Smith says she had her event in Philly yesterday. Well, I love that, Tony. I want to see more. That is amazing. Mary Lynn is working on April for her coffee in Tampa Bay. When, where, what time? Those are the things we want to know. Oh, when am I speaking? I'm here in Atlanta speaking today, Malika. I speak at 9 a.m. here today. But anyways, you guys... make sure you're part of the 800% Life group so that we can get together live in person as often as you can in your area as we continue to grow and expand. All right, let's dive into today's episode of #Rise and Grind.
Look at Atlanta today, and you see a city defined by massive kinetic energy, millions of commuters and billions in commerce moving continuously through complex steel and concrete arteries. It is a heavyweight of modern industry. It's the center of global aviation, headquarters for empires like Coca-Cola, and a massive film production hub. But if you rewind to the 1830s, this location makes absolutely no sense for a major metropolis. There is no deep water port. There are no navigable rivers to transport goods. It had zero natural geographic advantages. Instead, it started as a stake driven into the dirt. They called it Terminus, marking where the Western and Atlantic Railroad track came to an end. How does a completely isolated patch of land, built on a single artificial connection point, grow into a city that now dictates global flows of transit and culture? That single track quickly multiplied. Throughout the mid-1800s, Atlanta grew into a critical regional hub, tying the disparate, scattered economies of the Southeast together through a web of iron rails. But that exact connectivity made it a target. During the Civil War, the Union Army realized that to cripple the Confederate supply chain, they had to sever its main connecting artery. In 1864, General William T. Sherman captured the city and burned its infrastructure to the ground. The rail yards, the depots, the warehouses, left entirely in ruins. The city leadership made a highly pragmatic decision. Rather than dwell on the destruction, they adopted the symbol of the phoenix, focusing entirely on rapid reconstruction. That relentless, business-first mentality quickly replaced the ashes with dense, multi-story commercial blocks and streetcar systems, creating the economic engine of the New South. Because the underlying geometry of those rail networks remained intact, the city had no choice but to resurrect itself around that continuous flow of commerce. The vast wealth generated by those railroads eventually laid the groundwork for a different kind of network. Along avenues like Sweet Auburn, dense concentrations of independent Black enterprise and economic power began to flourish. This high concentration of autonomous wealth created a unique, insulated environment. It provided the physical space and resources necessary for progressive thought and organizing to thrive, without immediate reliance on white-controlled institutions. Organizations like the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, led by figures like Martin Luther King Jr., utilized this environment to build a new moral network right out of these storefronts. White business leaders, terrified of the economic disruption tearing apart other Southern cities over integration, adopted a pragmatic stance. They branded Atlanta the city too busy to hate, prioritizing commerce over massive resistance. This relative stability allowed activists to use the city as a secure headquarters, organizing massive, highly coordinated marches that forced national policy changes. The city's underlying obsession with constant commercial momentum inadvertently created the very foundation needed for it to become the cultural and moral capital of a changing America. By 1996, hosting the Summer Olympics forced the city to scale its infrastructure and cultural networks to accommodate an international audience. The physical network evolved. The iron rails that originally defined the region were superseded by global flight paths. Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport expanded into one of the busiest transit hubs on the planet, serving as the massive operational nerve center for Delta Airlines. That extreme physical connectivity directly fueled a new cultural pipeline. The city rapidly developed into the Hollywood of the South, becoming a dominant production center for global film, television, and hip-hop. Today, the city's infrastructure exports American culture and economic influence to the world with the same high-volume efficiency it once reserved for physical freight. The regional railroad terminus evolved into a national headquarters for civil rights, before expanding again into a global transit and media hub. Even when the physical city was burned to the ground in 1864, the underlying network forced a deliberate, rapid cycle of reinvention. True systemic resilience does not require natural geographic advantages like rivers or coastlines. It requires engineering yourself into an indispensable connector for everyone else. You can start from absolute dirt, take devastating hits, and rebuild entirely, as long as your core function is bringing other people together.
Now, a couple things that we have to note on that video that you watched. The first thing that we have to note on that video that you just watched is that video was generated this morning through Notebook LM, which is an amazing AI tool you should be using if you're not using it currently. I did a little bit of research on Atlanta. I took my notes. that I did the research on. I uploaded them into Notebook LM, and then this morning while I was writing out the rest of my show, it made that video. It took about 20 minutes on the hotel Wi-Fi for it to generate that video. For those of you that watched it live on Facebook, absolutely incredible technology to be able to do that. I mean, we were talking about video slides and so on and so forth. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. So, quick note. Second note, Atlanta did not start as the grand city that it is. Atlanta started as a little tiny dot on a map that happened to be where the Atlantic and the Midwest railroad stations connected. It was just a dot on the map. That's all it was. It was nothing more. And this is what I find really interesting about that. This city was captured in 1864. Like it just said in the video, there wasn't no Ocean Beach bringing people here. It wasn't any of that. It was a little dot in the map. It was where the railroads collided. Civil War happens. City gets captured, and they literally burn the entire city to the ground. They burn the city to the ground. The entire city is left in ruins. And then and only then, this is the note, this is the part, this is the piece you don't want to miss. Once the city's burnt to the ground, then and only then does it rise from the ashes. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Okay, there were people here before. There was a community here before. There was the railroad people here before, so on and so forth. Like that was there. It wasn't until the city was burned to the ground and left to ruins that then it was able to rise from the ashes. If you also listen to that video, it talked about how this became a hub for the civil rights movement, right? This was a very racist, segregated city in the late 1800s. It wasn't until they removed their current systems and processes. It wasn't until they went a completely different direction. Then and only then they grew into the modern global city that they are today. Are you seeing the pattern? Because I see a pattern. You see, sometimes the path to more is actually you have to start with less. Sometimes the path to more is you have to start with less. The city had to be burned to the ground in order to rise from the ashes. The cultural belief systems of segregation and so on and so forth had to be removed, less, right? Removed. They had to be removed in order for them to expand into the modern global city that they are now. And I'm telling you, if you haven't been to Atlanta in a while, this place is hot, bro. Like we walked around last night just down here in the city. We walked around, went to a little dive bar place to have some, what did I eat last night? Some wings and some potato skins. And like, there's just beautiful people everywhere, dressed to the nines, showing up like they got somewhere to be. And there's little events and parties and nice cars and so on and so forth. And this was a Sunday night, 8, 9 o'clock on a Sunday night. I'm like, this place is popping. The place is hot. I mean, you can feel it. You can feel the energy of this place. But listen, I want you to just think look at the pattern. Sometimes the path to more is you have to start with less. Right? If you think about it, right? Some of you are like, I want more money. Well, maybe you need to spend less money. Have you thought about that? Maybe you don't need to make more. Maybe you need to spend less. Some of you are like, well, I need more time. I need more time to work out. Well, maybe you don't need to work out more. Maybe you need to eat less cookies. Maybe that's what it is. Some of you are like, I want more work. I want to be able to work more. I love to work. I want to work more. Maybe you don't need to work more. How about you stop? Like, how about you make your focus about doing less inefficient work? That's what I'm trying to say. Instead of just doing more work, what if we do less inefficient work? Right? Like some of you dipping and dodging and diving this whole AI thing because you're thinking it's a fad or it's a trend or it's a whatever. It's above your head. You're not smart enough. You're too old. You're too young. You're too unintelligent. Whatever it is. Some of you are not going all in, right? Some of you are not going all in. Some of you are scared to death that the AI is going to take your jobs and so on and so forth. And I know I deal with this in my own company, especially when they see how strong I am on this AI stuff, right? But like, how about instead of doing more work, how about you just do less inefficient work? Because there are so many inefficiencies in what most of us are doing right now. The technology is there now. The technology is advanced. It reminds me of the time when calculators first came out and people were like, well, that's cheating. You'll never learn how to do the math in your head. Yeah, you're right. It was a hack. It was a way to get to the answer faster. So listen, the path to more in most cases requires an evaluation of what can be thrown out in order to make room for the abundance of more. Like in order for you to have more health, more wealth, more power and influence, if those are the things that you desire, like your voice, the impact you make, your legacy, like all of these things, it might be time to ask the question, not what do I need to do more of, but what do I need to do less of? It might be that season for you. Because, see, we talk about it on this show all the time, man. This is hashtag rise and grind. Get up, get after it. Get up early, do the work, brick, 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 right? Do the work, show up, do the work, let's go. More, like sleep 4 hours, get after it 20 hours a day, more. Go get more money, go get more influence, go get more. And bro, I'm not saying like, I'm all about that life. As you guys know, there's definitely seasons for all of that. I'm up at 3:50 in the morning out here in Atlanta. I'm setting up in the place. I'm doing the show. I'm all about that life. And with that said, some of you are doing more, but you're not getting anywhere. You're not expanding. You're not getting a result, right? And so it might just be time to look in the mirror real quick and go, whoa, hold up. What do I need to do less of the activities that are not moving me towards the goal? That way I can do more of the things that are moving me to the goal. You feel me? You feel me? Listen, my name's Glenn and I'm your friend and I absolutely stinking love you. I do. If nobody's told you yet today, I want to be the first. I absolutely stinking love you. And it's out of love. I'm going to challenge you this week. We're going to do a whole series. When in doubt, throw it out. This week we're going to do a whole series. We're going to go deep, you and I, and we're going to analyze the different aspects and the different activities and the different things we're doing. And we're going to start asking that question. What do we got to get rid of? What do we need to burn to the ground so that we can rise from the ashes, right? Right, that's what happened here in Atlanta, right? It got burned to the ground. They had to burn it to the ground so they could rise from the ashes. And look, some of you thought this was just a little AI backdrop, so I got to get up and show you that this is where it's at. This is where it's happening today. Look, this is my workout outfit for those of you guys that don't. You know, these sweatpants are a little bit short. I got my Hokas on. right? I'm gonna go work out right now. I'm gonna go to the gym or go for a run. I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna go for a run. I think it's what I'm gonna do out here. Hot Atlanta, it's warm out there though. Probably gonna go for a run. But here at the DriveCentric event in Atlanta, it's gonna be the room filled with people here in a little bit that I'm gonna have an opportunity to speak to. Super excited. But I'll be back here at 5:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. I will be back here and we will do this again right here on hashtag Rise and Grind. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing day. I think his computer mic is controlling the live. What does that mean? I think his computer mic is controlling the live. I don't know what that means, Trisha. We'll talk about it though. I'll go over to Clubhouse and we can talk about it. We can talk about it in the Clubhouse room. Does that sound good? Paulina, Jacoby, and Tony Schmidt. All right, Greg Becker, you have a great day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We'll do it all over again right here on hashtag Rise and Grind.
It's 5:30 a.m. and the world's awake. Glenn Lundy in the house, no time to break. Husband to one, father to nine. This is the anthem, this is the grind. Us all rise and grind every single day. 5:30 in the morning, Glenn's leading the way. Husband to one, father to nine. Host of the show, man, it's time to shine. Rise and grind, keep the fire alive. Motivation daily, we all gon' thrive. From the stage to the mic, he's one of a kind. This is the anthem, rise and grind.
Ah, gotcha. You guys couldn't hear me when I walked away. I wonder why.
He's sparking the flame.
It's surprising. I didn't feel like I was that far.
Remember the
Maybe I
name,
was.
faith, family, future. He's leading with love, dropping daily wisdom that comes from above.